And so, this is it. The grand finale, the big kahuna, the piece de resistance. The Tour de Endurance 2024 finale on Team Final Descent for the second time in Tour de Endurance history. The Citrus Sprinters and Marauders are separated by just 2 points at the top of the table, with Party Crashers and Crazy Chickens having outside chances of catching this championship, but they'll have to go through at least 3 grueling funnel races to get to the final and potentially take that championship.
The fans are as antsy as can be. Everyone is wondering who is going to come out on top in this event and in the tournament as a whole. The Team Funnel Descent, 16 marbles on the funnel course at once. 4 marbles representing their team. They will get points from 16 to 1 based on where they finish in the order from 1st to 16th. Remember, this is a funnel event you want to hold on for as long as possible. You want consistency to get your point total enough to be in the top 2 and get advancement to the semifinals, and from the semifinals to the finals.
Any ties are broken by whichever marble has the highest individual position. So let's say there's a tie on 35. Whoever finishes in second compared to fourth with their top finishing marble would advance. So ties don't have any tiebreaker rounds or anything like that. It is just highest position. And here you can see the Expedition Pre-Show teams making their way down the same course we saw in the Funnel Classic earlier this season. We've had the green funnel change to the middle for a bit more interaction and excitement, as we thought the stewards thought both the greens down at the bottom left a bit too much chaos towards the bottom of the track. And there you can see them all mixing in there, the Breakfast Doritos, Autumn Leaves, Cherry Blossoms, and Super Cat's Eyes. Super Cat's Eyes come across having 1 down the bottom, followed by several for Breakfast Doritos and several Super Cat's Eyes. That is not what you want to be doing. You want to have yours towards the middle and towards the front. Several down at the bottom of the order would pretty much doom you to not advance.
And this event, while it's not the first time we've seen this course this season, it is the first time we're seeing 16 marbles on the funnel course at once. There you can see that battle on the green funnel at the bottom as the footage slows down. The Autumn Leaves looks like they're going to drop on through, and the Super Cat's Eyes individually will get the win. But remember, this event is about consistency across your 4 marbles. Even if you have 1 marble that wins the race, you need all 4 of your teammates to do well as well. And Super Cat's Eyes with a first 12th, 13th, and 16th. They exited that very well. I don't think they would advance if this was a heat.
I don't think there will be Autumn Leaves there. Very consistent. 2nd, 4th, 6th, and 8th, 48 points, and Cherry Blossom. In fact, Super Cat's Eyes get last despite winning the race. That just goes to show you have to be good all across the board and not just rely on 1 marble. And there you see Marauders in Heat 1, Citrus Sprinters in Heat 3, and those wildcard choices to win the championship in Heats 2 and 4. 1 per heat here, with White Knights, Marauders, Jade Jockeys, and Cosmonauts to kick off the Tour de Endurance finale, and off we go into the first funnel.
This heat, of course, so important. We have the Marauders, one of our perennial championship contenders here. They just lost the lead to the Citrus Sprinters in the last event, but they're still only 2 points down. So advancing here would stake a claim to get the overall title. Marauders individually have the lead, but the other marbles, they're further down into the orange funnels. We're seeing a lot of marbles pile on into the orange funnels. White Knights have 3 in there. Cosmonaut also, I think, now have 3. It's just 1 Cosmonaut and 1 Marauder in that translucent funnel, and the last Marauder has the lead right now in that translucent funnel. Now, are their teammates doing enough? Everyone is just separated by a few funnels as we get our first entrance into the green.
I'm seeing 2 Marauders in the green already, and that there might be 2 Marauders, 2 Jade Jockeys, and a couple of Cosmonauts in there. Already mixing as a Cosmonaut and a Marauder come on through, but the other Marauders are starting to stake their claim. 3rd place there, individually, as well as 1st. All the other Marauders, perhaps that 4th one down below is trying to bring the other ones down so the other 3 can push forward for good position, and they do still lead individually. There are several White Knights, several Marauders, several Jade Jockeys, all jostling for position in that first green funnel, but I still see 2 White Knights and 2 Marauders and 2 Cosmonauts very briefly there, holding strong in that funnel. But down below, there's the final Marauder, Jade Jockeys, and a Cosmonaut individually. In fact, there's 1 of each now in the bottom green funnel. This could still go any of the team's way.
White Knights individually have the lead. All eyes on the Marauders right now. They have the record in this event. So will we see some of that skill and prowess from the previous season translate here? We're going to see our first entrance down below into the end of the catch basin. White Knights have a lot of marbles. In fact, it's like 10, 11 marbles all circling. Cosmonauts will be the first. They'll actually have 2, 3 of them get the back 3. They're definitely not advancing, but the Marauders, I think they're doing enough. They have 3 marbles, 2 marbles still on the course, and I think 2 marbles in the top 4 is going to be enough for the Marauders to advance.
if they can push further just to solidify getting top 2 in this race would pretty much lock it in. The White Knights coming through for 4th place. All their other ones are too inconsistent to perhaps advance. It's going to be between them and the Jade Jockeys, who are trying to push for the win. They're going to come on through for 3rd place, but that is Wormtail and Padfoot of the Marauders to push a top 2 result, and they will move on to the semi-finals. Pressure for the Citrus Sprinters there, as Marauders, they will now get at least 8 points in this event, and they see 6th and 10th with other 2 members, and Jade Jockeys beat out every White Knights member individually, so it will be Marauders and Jade Jockeys to advance here, but Marauders far more convincingly.
And what a convincing way to do it. As you said, the Marauders staking their claim to get this championship. Now Citrus Sprinters, the pressure is on to them for them to advance. Marauders, with this advancement, I think this might knock out the Party Crashers and the Crazy Chickens from contention. We'll have to see. But we go on to the second heat with Party Crashers, Hell Clowns, Green Peacocks, and the Serpent Speeders to see who advances from here.
So Party Crashers are in fact just still in contention with at least 8 points for the Marauders. They'll finish on at the very least 174. If Party Crashers win this event, they'll get 175, which would just beat them out. But the Party Crashers have to advance here, and throughout the team events this season, they have been struggling dramatically. The least amount of points in team events out of all 16 teams so far, and they have one more chance to try and bump out of that last place spot. And currently there's 2 of them up there with 2 Hell Clowns and a single Green Peacock. 7 Speeders off to early struggles here, but they do know how to perform in final events. We'll see if that trend continues here. We're starting to see our first entrance into the first green, and it's currently a 1 Green Peacock down there, followed by the Serpent Speeder, and they're all starting to pile on through the orange layers. Party Crashers lead individually to no surprise, but the team is still all spread out for all 4 competitors.
Of course, this event, the one time it was previously held as the finale, was the season the Party Crashers came out on top. Green Peacocks also battling with them here, but all eyes on the Party Crasher to see if they can advance. If they don't advance, they are done, and they will not win their second title. Serpent Speeders have won well down, and their second marble also in that first orange funnel after the first green, but it's not looking great for the Serpent Speeders, a team that has done well in this event before. Hell Clowns also have multiple down in that last orange funnel, so after starting pretty well, they're in a pretty precarious position. Green Peacocks have 3 in that top green funnel, and 3 of the Green Peacocks doing well in that in the top, so they look good to advance, but they'll have to hold it. Party Crashers right now, all of them, most of them in that bottom green funnel. So is this race perhaps going away from them? Hell Clowns will be our first finisher, and we have a lot of marbles circling. Hell Clowns will have 2.
Hell Clowns bottom 2 already. Their top 2 will have to push really far now. Serpent Speeders and Party Crashers pretty much all pile on through together, and that leaves still 3 Green Peacocks on the board, 2 Hell Clowns, 1 Party Crasher, and 1 Serpent Speeders. Party Crashers come on through for, I believe that was a 7th place top finisher. They're not going to advance here, and their championship run is finished. But 3 Green Peacocks, consistency here. They should push themselves through as Hell Clowns and Serpent Speeders are trying to push them along. Hell Clowns, their top 2, it does not happen. The Serpent Speeders deny them of a top 2, but will 2nd, 3rd, 15th, and 16th be enough for the Hell Clowns, or will the Serpent Speeders' individual win push them through? But I think, look at that, 4th through 6th trio for the Green Peacocks will push them through to the semi-finals, but all 3 of the top 3 here in this heat will be rather close, but it's safe to say Party Crashers are going to be eliminated soundly here.
And the team events once again come back to bite the Party Crashers. They will not be winning this championship. The Hell Clowns are also close by 4 points. They miss out behind the Serpent Speeders. And that's so surprising that they managed to be that close after having 2 of their marbles get first 2. But the Green Peacock and the Serpent Speeders are going to advance to the semi-finals. And this leaves, I think, just the Marauders and the Citrus Sprinters, who are in this heat, to stake their claim for the overall championship.
Alright, Citrus Sprinters have to contend with Grayscales, Blue Brigade, and the Honeycombs to advance and put pressure on the Marauders yet again, put the ball back in their court, as they say. They've already lost 1 to the orange funnels, but the rest, as well as another 1 to the orange funnels, as I say that. In fact, they've only got 1 still up there, while there are still 3 Grayscales and 3 Honeycombs currently leading this race. A great start for those 2 teams as Blue Brigade and Citrus Sprinters, both in groups down there, trying to recoup and get back in this race. It's going to be the Honeycombs individually, there you see, to take the lead, but the Citrus Sprinters are starting to recoup. They've got 2 in that top orange funnel that have pulled back, but there's 1 all the way down in the first green, along with a Blue Brigade, but there are several pushing down toward that last orange funnel of this first section. A Grayscale comes on through, followed by another Blue Brigade. Still early days, but it's looking especially good for the Honeycombs and Citrus Sprinters.
The Citrus Sprinters recouped themselves very well in that orange section after a pretty poor start, and after the Honeycombs and Grayscales established themselves with a great start. But the Citrus Sprinters, good teamwork, they're trying to hold on in that green funnel. They have 3 of them in that green funnel. Meanwhile, Blue Brigade have 3 already crossed that green funnel in the orange section before the final green funnel. Honeycombs also have multiple falling down through Citrus Sprinters. They are in a pretty good position, but remember, there's still about half this race to go, so this could very well get taken from them. Citrus Sprinters have 3 in the top 3 right now. This is great for them. They need to advance pretty much to have a chance to win this championship. Grayscales, look, they have 2 close to the horizon. Blue Brigade have 3. In fact, every team has multiple in that green funnel. We're gonna get our first entrance of the green funnel now. Blue Brigade, Grayscales have multiple there. Honeycombs actually will finish first.
It's a chaos down there in the bottom funnel. It's almost impossible to commentate. All 4 Citrus Sprinters were still on track, but 1 comes on through there. The other 3 are holding as strong as they can. 2 Blue Brigade, 2 Grayscales, 1 Honeycombs. Honeycombs, I think it's safe to say, are in trouble. They crawl around the opening to all these teams, and it leaves just 2 Blue Brigade, 1 Citrus Sprinter who comes on through in 4th place, and 1 Grayscale. These 3 finishing positions could determine the fate for Citrus Sprinters. It is so close here. I don't know who's going to advance besides the Honeycombs. I think they're safe to say they are done in Heat 3 here. Blue Brigade just have that individual one come on through, and the Grayscales win individually, but look at those finishes. I think that's 1st, 6th, 8th, and 15th. The Citrus Sprinters 4th, 7th, 9th, and 11th. And Blue Brigade, look at that. This is so close. The inconsistency from Grayscales and Blue Brigade compared to the almost close consistency of Citrus Sprinters, I don't know who's going to make it.
It could be any of them. Citrus Sprinters, their fans are antsy as can be in the stands, wondering, did they do good enough to advance? The Citrus Sprinters have middling positions compared to the inconsistency, and it's not good enough. Citrus Sprinters in 3rd place, based on the tiebreaker, though, of 37 points. Now, I don't think that knocks them out of championship contention just yet. The Citrus Sprinters can get 9th place, and if the Marauders get 8th place, the Citrus Sprinters, they came into this event with 2-point lead. They would still emerge victorious, but now Marauders seemingly have an easy path to get this championship as we are off into the final heat. But Marauders, fans happy in the stands, they know that this is their championship to lose right now.
All Marauders have to do is advance, and they've locked it away, but if they finish 5th or 6th, they'll win it as well. If they finish in 7th, they will lose on medal countback. So Citrus Sprinters have, technically, if the Marauders advance, a 50-50 chance to still win this championship, but those are not the odds you want to have when there's a championship on the line. Of course, Marauders fans very happy, but we got to look at this 4th heat before we move on to those critical semi-finals. It's Condiment Kings, Neptune Nomads, Cheese Balls, and Crazy Chickens. Crazy Chickens, of course, still contending for a podium, as are the Condiment Kings, but Neptune Nomads and Cheese Balls are just here for the final event, trying to put on a good show for the last event. Neptune Nomads individually lead ahead of 2 Condiment Kings, but the other one is completely down at the bottom in the 2nd orange funnel of the 2nd orange funnel section, and currently it is a mix of marbles in the green. It remains to see how this will go, but there's plenty of yellow in there. Cheese Balls and Crazy Chickens, all of them together in there.
About 10, 11 marbles in that first green funnel. They start to drop on through now. Neptune Nomads still have multiple up there. Condiment Kings as well. Despite having 1 straggler well in the bottom, they have 3 in the top, and I think they might get top 3 if that Neptune Nomad will fall down through. They will not. The Neptune Nomad does hold on, but we are seeing more entrance into the final green funnel down below. I think that's 2 Cheese Balls, or it might be a Crazy Chicken. I can't really tell. Condiment Kings, though, have a great position. They have current top 3 right now. Neptune Nomads, they are going to try to hold on with that 1 marble, but they need to do more with their other marbles since they're all down in the green. Crazy Chickens and Cheese Balls have multiple close, and Neptune Nomads will finish first. Then comes Crazy Chickens, and I think Cheese Balls will drop on through here as well.
Condiment Kings are doing very well here. If they can just avoid that melee in the middle, they will advance soundly. Cheese Balls and Neptune Nomads. I thought they lost another one to the Cheese Balls, but they were able to avoid it. A mess of yellow comes on through as there are still 3 Condiment Kings on the board. They will advance. No problem at all for the home crowd. They love to see that. Neptune Nomads individually in 3rd place. Just trying to look down at the order there. I see several inconsistencies throughout. The Chickens have more of theirs up there, but so do the Cheese Balls. Neptune Nomads, that is 3 in the bottom 6. That might just condemn them to not advance. There's usually been one that you can clearly tell to not advance here, but Condiment Kings, great top 2 there from those 2 competitors, Mayo and Soy. I think the Crazy Chickens, with whoever on Gallows' efforts, might just be enough, but Perillo could be dragging them down. I'm not sure who got 2nd place, but Condiment Kings, very good advancement there, and Neptune Nomads are probably not going to go through.
It's going to be a battle between the yellow teams to see who can get that 2nd transfer position. It's safe to say Nomads are not making. Crazy Chickens will get advancement, and critically, by 1 point over the Cheese Balls, that point difference means that it locks in the Citrus Sprinters for 9th place. They will get 7 points, which means the Marauders just need to get 6th place to seal this championship. Marauders will be, I think, in that second semi-final. There you can see Citrus Sprinters and Marauders, the only ones that can still win. Everyone down to the Grayscales except the Honeycombs and the White Knights can still make the final podium.
Well, those Condiment Kings and Grayscales do need some luck from the teams above them to still make that final podium, but there's still plenty to play for with 3 races of this season to go. In semi-final A, Blue Brigade, Condiment Kings, Green Peacocks, and the Jade Jockeys. This is still such an important race for the Marauders because the bottom 2 here will define positions 5th through 8th. 2 of them at least. So they need to, if they score real low, it allows the Marauders to get an even easier shot at this championship. So everything matters in this race, especially those bottom 2 spots. Condiment Kings have bottom 3 now. The first 3 to come on through are Condiment Kings marbles, followed by their 4th one immediately after. A very rough start for the home team, but up top it is 2 Blue Brigade with those 2 green teams having 1 representative, Jade Jockeys and Green Peacocks. But now it's just the Green Peacocks who individually take the lead. That 4th orange funnel is completely empty, well it was briefly, as we're still yet to see an entry into the green funnel, but here we go, they're starting to come on through now. 1 Jade Jockey and 1 Blue Brigade to start us off, followed by 2 Blue Brigade, as Jade Jockeys now lead individually.
The Jade Jockeys have multiple in that last orange funnel of the first orange funnel section, and they're all starting to peel on through into the green funnel now. So despite that individual lead, the Jade Jockeys aren't in a great position. Blue Brigade also have one well down. They're joined by a Jade Jockey now. Condiment Kings, after starting pretty poorly, a bit of a surprise after their great performance in the previous heat, they've recouped themselves decently and are all in that green funnel. All 4 of them, in fact. Green Peacocks also in a decent position. They're about to spread apart all across the course. But Blue Brigade and Jade Jockeys still have work to do, with multiple marbles about to enter that green funnel. Blue Brigade have entered. Green Peacocks and the Jade Jockeys also have 1 entrant there. Blue Brigade now have 2. So the Blue Brigade, despite having 2 in the orange section, it's not looking good for them. Green Peacocks have the individual lead. Jade Jockeys also seem to have brought it back a bit, with 2 of their marbles in the current top 3.
Jade Jockeys are bringing the comeback very well here. There's still 2 in the orange funnel. Now they come on through. We're starting to see some losers. Condiment Kings and Jade Jockeys lose. Well, there's Condiment Kings, another one. A Blue Brigade, a Green Peacock. Well, at least 1 member of each has come on through. There goes another Jade Jockey. There's a trio of Blue Brigade in there, but they all get pushed forward by the swarm of competitors. Green Peacocks lose another one. Condiment Kings there, and there goes all 3 of the Blue Brigade as the Green Peacocks and the Jade Jockeys individually keep themselves up there, and there's 2 Jade Jockeys still on the board. Is this going to be enough for them to pull through, given the inconsistency of all the teams? We look at that trio of Blue Brigade. Did they finish high enough to knock out the Green Peacocks or Jade Jockeys? I think Condiment Kings, with that really poor finish, will be in trouble. But between these two green teams, again, the same colour, fighting for that second place, it's going to be pretty close. Look at that 2 and 3 for Jade Jockeys. That's going to give them a bit of a boost. Which teams are advancing out of this, I can't really tell.
We're once again seeing a round where one team is really out of it. It could be any of 2 of the other 3. Green Peacocks take the record individually with a 2:31. P-Foul takes the individual record, but we still don't know if they're going to advance. Green Peacocks, individually, great performance for them, but Jade Jockeys and Blue Brigade could still both knock them out. Condiment Kings are definitely done. Individually, Green Peacocks and Jade Jockeys, 40 and 37 points respectively. That is good enough for them. The Blue Brigade, despite having 3 marbles in the top half, it's not good enough for them, but we see 34 points for the Blue Brigade. That number is important for the Marauders to beat. If they can beat that, they should be able to get this championship.
If they beat the 34 of the Blue Brigade, they'll also beat the Condiment Kings, which means they will get confirmed 6th place. But losing to Blue Brigade, that means they'll have to get at least 3rd place in this one. But of course, if they advance, they're fine. They will win the championship no matter what. The thing they need to look out for is either beating the Blue Brigade or getting 3rd place in this heat and beating the Condiment Kings, who put down a very low score. So Marauders look pretty sound here. They should not have too much trouble, but they could always, you never know with Marble Sports, you can just never tell. Currently they have 1 up there with the Grayscales, individually who have the lead. Down below I see several Crazy Chickens struggling with individually a Serpent Speeders compared to the Grayscales. Finally come and join one of their teammates. It's currently a top 2 for the Grayscales with potential to be top 3 with their 3rd one there. In fact, they just does not hide out now. We've got 4 Crazy Chickens all in the first green funnel with 2 Serpent Speeders down there. Those 2 off to a really rough start here.
The tension is at its highest right now. Everyone knows that after this race, we will have the championship decided, whether it's the Marauders or the Citrus Sprinters. Marauders have 2 in that last orange funnel before the green, but 1 falls on through. Grayscale still have that top 2. They're in a very good position. Marauders, all of them in the green funnel. Now they start to drop on through, but no one is really lagging behind. Everyone is making it pretty close down before the last green funnel. Crazy Chickens are our first entrant, and the Marauders and the Grayscales still fighting in that top green funnel, but Crazy Chickens are in a pretty precarious position here.
There are two Grayscales just dancing in the top green funnel up there. If they can keep themselves out of that opening, they'll keep themselves far away. But down below, there are 4 Crazy Chickens, 3 Marauders, 3 7 Speeders. The Grayscales are doing exponentially well here, but it's all about where these Marauders marbles finish, and where will those around them finish in as well. It looks like 7 Speeders come on through first, followed by, there goes one of the Marauders, and another 7 Speeders, and the 3 7 Speeders in the bottom 4. Might just confirm it for the Citrus Sprinters. That is a really low result, but all 3, except for 1 Marauder. There's only Padfoot of the Marauders left. How far can they push, and how important will it be?
They're getting bumps from the Grayscales and the Crazy Chickens, and the Marauders, they're pushing through, past the Crazy Chickens, past the Marauders, past the Grayscales, past the Serpent Speeders. This Marauder is going to seal the deal for them. The Marauders, 3 seasons ago, they lost the championship to the Grayscales, who they're battling here, and now the Marauders have found the map to Tour de Endurance glory. The Marauders, individually, will they get the win here? They will push on through the Grayscales. All 4 of the Grayscales are high up there, and I think the Marauders will do it.
The Marauders, we're hearing from the stewards now, it is a good enough score to beat out the Serpent Speeders and the 8th place Condiment Kings to win Tour de Endurance in 2024 by just 1 point over the Citrus Sprinters. Heartbreak for that orange team, but congratulations to the Marauders with still 1 race to go, of which I believe Grayscales and I think Crazy Chickens, with my early math, will advance to. And yeah, there you see, just 2 points for the Marauders. They could have made it to the final to put a closing curtain on this event, but it does not matter. They will win this tournament, and with still a race to go and a gold to crown. There you see, 6th place. That is all she wrote, and it is all that is required. Well done to the Marauders, but still 1 more podium to determine, and there you see, permutations. Grayscales and Crazy Chickens can still get 3rd place over the Party Crashers. If the Party Crashers, in fact, will miss the podium. Chickens, if they get 12 points and Grayscales get gold, Grayscales will get 3rd. But if Crazy Chickens just make it to the podium, they'll get 3rd place. As simple as that. Let's see how that pans out in the final race of Tour de Endurance 2024.
So Grayscales, J-Jockeys, Crazy Chickens, and Green Peacocks to determine the final podium and final gold medalist of Tour de Endurance. They peel on through into the 2nd translucent funnel now. Everyone, the championship is over, but everyone is still fighting to see who can get this gold medal. Crazy Chickens had 2 up there. Now 1 of them falls on through. Now it's just the Grayscales and 1 Crazy Chicken in that top funnel, and the Grayscales have the lead individually. We start to see multiple J-Jockeys and multiple Grayscales, multiple Crazy Chickens down below into the orange. Green Peacocks doing a good job of holding on, but now they also start to drop on through. Grayscales, that individual marble, holding on for the individual lead, and the Crazy Chickens now also currently dropping on through.
Crazy Chickens have consistently had slow starts to these races, but they've always come back just in time to advance to the next round. J-Jockeys have 2 up towards the front, but there's a nice trio of Green Peacocks there in the middle as J-Jockeys lead individually. 3 Crazy Chickens, again, several of them in that first green funnel. Can they pull off another miracle to get a silver or a gold here as a top 2 for the 3rd time in a row? It's not looking good so far as 1 comes on through already. A Green Peacock follows suit as they all dance around that green funnel. Grayscales have 2 up there in the orange funnel. Now it just goes down to 2 as it was 3. Green Peacocks and J-Jockeys, those 2 green teams that are semi-final A. J-Jockeys individually lead, but every team is still in as the Crazy Chickens. That trio of Crazy Chickens has pushed themselves into this top battle, and now it's anybody's race.
We've seen the Crazy Chickens come alive in the later part of these races, and they're doing it again in this final, staking their claim for gold. They have 2 up there. 1 of them will drop on through. Grayscales also have 2 up there, but Crazy Chickens and Grayscales look in a great position for both of them to get this gold medal. Green Peacocks have 3 now in that bottom green funnel. Crazy Chickens also have 2, so they're not in a very consistent position, and in fact, the other Crazy Chickens are falling down through. Now everyone seems to get on through to the green funnel. Meanwhile, Grayscales, though, have 3 in the orange section. Grayscales, they saw the Marauders get the championship in the previous semi-final, but they are staking their claim for gold. We're starting to see our finishers. J-Jockeys will finish now.
All they need to do with the Grayscales is hold that position and they'll be good to go. J-Jockeys get bottom 2, but should condemn everyone else to a podium. It's all chaos in the middle there. That's just 2 Green Peacocks and 2 Grayscales remaining. There is going to be minimal contact, and now it's 2-1 to the Grayscales. It looks like if the Green Peacocks and Grayscales, is going to be very close between these 2, because if you look at the order there, it is all about what these final 2 marbles do. Grayscales, can they hold off for a top 2 against the remaining Green Peacock? I don't think so. The train here is going to come down to just the last 2 of each, and there you see, it's going to be Grayscales and Green Peacocks 1-1, and the Grayscales win individually. And looking at that, the 3 individual Grayscales beat out 1. So it's 3-1 on that table there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 8, 9, and 13, 14. I think Grayscales will get the gold here. Green Peacocks the silver, but Crazy Chickens a bronze medal. They deny the Grayscales that third place position in the overall table, and Crazy Chickens behind Marauders and Citrus Sprinters, we've confirmed to round out the podium. It's waiting for the final results, and there you see, Crazy Chickens will round out not only this third place podium, but also the overall one.
Fantastic job by the Crazy Chickens. Who would have thought that they would have stood on that overall podium after last season? But they are here, third place in this event and third place overall in 2024. But what a battle between our two past champions battling for the gold. It came down to that final roll between the Grey Squirrels and the Green Peacocks. Well done to them. And with that, Tour de Endurance in 2024 has come to an end. Congratulations to the Marauders for coming out on top by 1 point over the Citrus Sprinters. Crazy Chickens, great job by them to hold on to third place.
And of course, stick around for the closing ceremony, and stick around as well for after the closing ceremony for a very important announcement in regards to Tour de Endurance in 2025. Thank you so much for attending, everyone, and bye for now. Hello everyone, and first of all, thank you very much for watching Tour de Endurance in 2024. It's been an absolute pleasure of a season. Before we all hop on the train back home, I have a rather important announcement to make with regards to next year. Tour de Endurance 2025 will be the last season to have a designated host, as in 2026 and beyond, the expedition teams will host a league collectively. The fourth auto-qualified team for 2026 and beyond will be decided by an 8-team playoff tournament between 4th and 8th in the A-League and 1st to 3rd in the B-League. So as an example, if this were to happen next year, the Greyscales through to the Honeycombs, along with the Rosemaries, Onion Union, and Moneymakers would compete for the 4th spot to join the A-League top 3 as the 4 auto-qualified teams. However, the question remains, who will host the final season with one host? Well, here are your 5 nominees. The Party Crashers. Party Crashers are, to date, the most successful team in solely individual events, having amassed 336 points in 4 years. Their roster lineup will be changed dramatically for next year, and they hope to show this new team chemistry on their home turf. The Honeycombs. Judges nominated the Honeycombs for their return to form after struggling dramatically in 2022 and 2023, and the team wants the chance to continue this at their home stadium for their very passionate fan base. The Greyscales. One of, if not the most successful team in Tour de Endurance history, with a championship and a runner-up to their name, and narrowly missing the podium this time around. They want the chance to put similar numbers up again for the huge crowd of black and white at their home stadium. The Green Peacocks. This team narrowly made the cut to be able to nominate as a host team by barely finishing this season in 10th place. But despite the underwhelming championship defense, this team was unstoppable throughout 2022 and 2023 and would absolutely host a graceful and whimsical tournament. And finally, our new defending champions, the Marauders. Similar to the Honeycombs, they have returned strongly to their 2021 form and have now topped the Tour de Endurance charts for this year and want to bring their shadowy but also fantastic stadium to the league in the final standalone host tournament. And your host for Tour de Endurance 2025 is the Greyscales. Congratulations to the Greyscales, they will auto-qualify alongside Crazy Chickens, Citrus Sprinters, and Marauders for next season. We will see you next time for Terrain Marble Trials 2024, and next year for another wonderful season of Tour de Endurance. Have a good night everyone, and bye for now.